I find this interesting. I was reading this work, Peril, Danger, Exposure to Injury or Loss, the risks insured against in an insurance policy. Yeah. And then there's what's known as perjury, false testimony, the telling of an untruth when acting as a witness. In a court proceeding, the making of a false statement in an affidavit, the willful swearing to a falsehood in a manner before court. Perjury occurs when someone has taken an oath to tell the truth and then knowingly tells an untruth, lying under oath. Perjury is punishable by severe fines and or imprisonment. I remember when I was in court and I had been arrested where I wasn't in Squim on December 31st, and I'd been emailing those in office that my right to due process was being violated because the petitioner didn't sign it, and I wasn't given actual notice and opportunity to be heard. Now, it was in Judge Porter's court, and I asked the judge, I said, "Judge, can I say something?" And he said, "At your own peril," as if I was going to experience some sort of loss, danger, exposure to injury or loss. Now, I don't know if Judge Porter realizes that when it says that it's personal service unless there's a court-ordered publication, that's what it means. Now, let's say I went back to that hearing in 2012 where it wasn't Heidi on the witness stand, it was Jill, her look-alike. And it was Leslie Bond and another person was there, and they hissed at me afterwards. But if I found out that they were actually paid to make a show, then their whole testimony would be perjury, fines, and imprisonment. Because I didn't try to contact my ex-wife. I wanted to see if Healthy Families of Clallam County had gotten the documentation from the Attorney General on Guam that I'd completed the diversion. Now, somebody has been paying for shows instead of paying attention to what the law says. Now, at your own peril, you can continue to violate my rights, and there's a great amount of danger that your families won't end up with anything and you'll end up in prison. Now, I have informed law enforcement that the guarantees in the United States Constitution are actual law. And when it says you cannot deprive a person of life, liberty, or property without due process, and the Violence Against Women's Act says that you have to protect the notice and opportunity of the respondent, and when you issue a protection order in 2011 that violated my rights as a respondent, and then you have me arrested in 2012 without any jurisdiction, and then I go through some court show where it's not my ex-wife on the stand, I'm seeing an incredible amount of lawsuits. Now, somebody has been living their lives at their own peril, and my concern is that they're not only going to experience the loss of all that they own, they're going to experience the loss of being able to ever get out of prison. Your shows, your Oprah shows, your fish shows, and your clone shows are going to end up having every oath of office lose everything they own. And then they're going to end up in jail or in prison for not enforcing the laws of the United States. Now, the judges in Clallam County need to realize that when the legislation says that you have to protect the rights of the respondent and you have not done that, you're violating the law.